We'll get right into it. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Sex Actually podcast. It is your host, Dave Neal, co-host Tasha Corney.
Hello, hello.
And our guest, first time on the Sex Actually podcast, Bianca Cristovao.
Yeah. Welcome.
She flew in from Czech Republic.
Yeah, just for this podcast.
Well, your English is great for your first time in America. Thanks for coming. You've been all over the world performing stand-up, right? You were in the funniest...
all over Europe, I'd say.
What was the festival called?
It was the funniest, Laugh Factory's funniest person in the world.
And you don't have to speak English when you do it? They translate for you?
No, everyone has to speak English. That was one of the requirements.
That's a requirement. You can be the funniest in the world as long as you speak our language.
Yeah, right.
That's what's funny. I just submitted to Just for Laughs in Montreal, and they're like English speaking only, but Montreal's a French city.
Yeah.
But no one does comedy in other languages, I guess. Luckily. So, but you've got to learn English, which you've done, and then learn how to be funny in English.
Which I did.
Are you funnier in
No.
the Czech? Is that the language?
No, I'm not funnier in Czech. No.
You don't know. Why is that? You just had to learn it here.
Why is that? Because I don't do comedy enough in Czech language to be as funny. You know what I mean? Like I only get to do, like most of the year I do comedy in the States. So of course.
What brought you here?
What brought me here? Cold.
Yeah.
It was too cold there?
Yeah, I was living in Berlin. It was like the worst cold of all time. It was 2008, 2009. And I was like, fuck this shit.
We might all have to go to Berlin
Yeah.
now. I think that would be a good place to run away
You
to.
know what?
How funny. Tear down that wall and build it over here 4 miles from where we
You know
live.
what's funny? Like Berlin is growing this amazing international community because a lot of people left London because of Brexit, and like there's this community of English-speaking people in Berlin. Amazing place to do comedy too. By the way,
Is it really?
I visited there, and it was really artsy. Like a lot of young artsy
like
people.
a big Silver
like
Lake.
Brooklyn. Yeah. It's like Brooklyn or Silver Lake. It's a lot of young people living like artist communities, and I don't know, I thought it was really cool. And they have like free education. Like, let's go to
But
move
it's
to
really
Berlin and get
sad.
our college degrees.
I went on a tour there, and they were like, and this building is a replica of this. And it was like the whole half of the city is replicated because it was all blown
or
up.
anything that's still standing has like bullet holes in it that you can
It
see.
is very interesting that all if you want to see like the sightseeing, all you want to see is the shit from World War II, which is kind of sad.
And
if
it's
you
like
think
this
about
parking
it.
lot, Hitler blew himself
Yeah,
up.
like everything
or,
is just like Nazi
What like where are you from in Czech Republic? I mean, were you from Czechoslovakia? Because you were born before Czech Republic became
I
right?
actually did something. But only like 2 years. Like, look at you.
Yeah,
your
right.
history.
Well, I have an uncle from
knowledge.
Yugoslavia.
Oh, okay.
Or
Well,
I
that
think.
no longer exists either.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so it was Czechoslovakia when I was born. Actually, but 2 years later it was Czech Republic. So I'm actually not very
So
familiar.
you're like an original gangster with it.
Yeah, but I was born in in Pilsner, which is very close to Prague. So I was always on the Czech
Pilsner?
side. Yeah.
The
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I just watch on? I was watching that millionaire show, win a million or whatever. What's that show called? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently they still have
on?
the show on. Yeah,
Still
I
on?
accidentally had this station on, and Chris Harrison's hosting. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the question was like, what spring break destination can you get bathed in beer? And the answer was Czech Republic.
Oh wow, yeah.
So have you
Sounds
done that
about
before?
right.
Is that a thing?
No, I did not drink beer until I moved to America because it was always too strong for me. Like the Czech beer is such a good quality that was like
Pilsner
too
Urquell, that's Czech, right?
Mm-hmm,
I
yeah.
like Pilsner Urquell.
I don't know
That's
if I've
good.
ever had it.
No, the Pilsners, they're not that strong, are they?
good. It's kind of strong. I mean,
How
it's good.
early
It's
can
a
you-
good? It's a good.
But it
quality.
tastes like beer. It doesn't taste like American beer. That tastes like
taste
water.
lemonade. And so that's
Yeah.
how I started drinking beer because I was like, oh, this American beer, it's like a lemonade. It's great.
How early do you drink there?
Oh, as soon as you, I don't know.
Like 15 or like
No, I mean, I would say like you start drinking. Depends on what your friends are like. Yeah.
Did you
I
have
guess
friends?
15, 14.
is it legal at 18?
18, yeah, it's legal, but nobody's checking your ID as long as you look the part. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're
If you're 10.
Braces.
if you're a 14-year-old looking 18, nobody's gonna care.
Were you?
Yes.
So when did you? Because I feel like women. I don't know. I think this is an international thing. I think men. I think men are all the same. People say like, "Oh, Italian guys are this way," or this guy. It's like we're all pieces of shit in different accents. But women, I think, mature because they mature faster. Older men will like bring them into clubs or be like, "Hey, I'll get you into this," and they are the gatekeeper. Because when I was in high school, I found out like girls that I was in the same grade with were like going to college parties, and I'm like, what? Like I'm clearly not invited to a college party, but the girl. Did you have that experience where like older dudes sort of like?
Oh my god, 100%.
And is it? But looking back, is it super sketchy? I mean, I'm sure at the time you're like,
looking back, I definitely don't want to have a daughter in.
Doing the same thing that you did.
Hell no.
Well, like, give me an example. Like, what? Just because they're like getting into the clubs, or because they have a driver's license? I mean, the bar is set so low when you're a guy, you get a driver's license.
Like I said, if you look the part. So when I was 15, 16, I would dress up in high heels and did the whole spiel, and I would dress up like a 30. Like I dressed up like I would never dress up these days. You know what I mean? Like,
and you pulled it off,
and I would pull it off. Yeah. And then you have those older guys for sure that are like around and buying you drinks and stuff.
Did you have that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to say,
but your mom wouldn't let that happen.
Well,
like you got to like hide that.
No, but you were saying like you dressed up like you were really old.
Yeah.
I totally did the same thing. I had, when I was 20, my fake ID said I was 30.
100%.
So I like really like, when I got dressed up to go out, it wasn't like I was like hoochie mama. I couldn't look like a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
I had to look like a 30-year-old.
Right.
So I was just like, like
you dressed like
blazer.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, me too. I had also that
Why
kind
you
of
taking
a blazer.
briefcase to
and
a
even
bar?
I had kind of like a briefcase, like a bag, like handbag, like just kind of like.
I love it.
Oh, it's horrible.
No, we
Like,
can't do
what
that.
was
I would
doing?
look like a 14-year-old tech millionaire you just can't. Guys can't pull it off unless
You
you're
like didn't have any beard yet.
Well, we had a guy
facial hair?
Kowalski, this Polish guy I would play on the football team with in high school. He looked like the coach. He was like just full hair, everything. But then guys like me, I couldn't. I remember this girl Liz Cabral. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. No, I love Liz. Was super sweet. But she probably doesn't remember this. She was on the cheerleading team. She told me I had a wife beater on. That's what they're called A shirts or whatever, the real term, but they're wife beaters or beaters.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's.
I didn't. The only word I've ever known for that shirt is wife beater, which is sad.
In the Czech, that's an actual man. He lives down the street. So I had a beater on, and the gym was also like one of the old English rooms. The school was under renovation, so I'm in the gym working out, and the cheerleaders are doing their stunts or whatever they're doing next door, and I come out in my beater, and she was like, Dave, you need to fulfill that chest. She said fulfill. I'll never forget she called it fulfill.
Is it
because
fulfilled now?
That makes zero sense.
It didn't make sense, but I understood what she meant. And I was like,
meant
oh,
you were
man.
too skinny for that shirt?
Yeah, and I was maybe a freshman or sophomore. But so ever since then, I've had a giant chest because I feel like I've just done push-ups my whole life after Liz told me.
All it takes is one person calling you out when you're young and insecure.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But in today's world, that would be considered shame. But I took it as motivation to get my shit in gear.
Look at you.
Right? Isn't that what it is?
Well, it's either you take it one way or the other. You're either the kind of person who like is going to overcome, or you're the kind of person that's going to cry and never leave your house for the next 6 years.
And then you should stay that person. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I get shamed by my cousin.
There's too many people in this world. Let's just,
So, but you're saying
let's
shame?
not be so sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like be more honest. Like
Right.
my
There are
cousin
people
tells
with
me when
real
my
shit.
gut's coming back. And I'm like, I recognize it, but now that I know that you know, so I don't know.
This shit is not important, first of all,
But we're as sensitive as comedians are, we still have to.
Well, I have to tell you, when I was watching the Rose Battle yesterday on Periscope, and I saw like some of those people, I was like, wow, they don't cry. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean they're horrible.
Maybe they go home and cry.
Probably some of them, like yeah. I think
And the worst
so.
part is like I'm getting judged by people that I know I could be on the same stage with. I'm not saying I'm Joe Rogan level or any of that, but we get on shows with those types of guys, and then we have to be judged by them. Like I've been like on a big Bert Kreischer kick. I think he's really funny. I mean, he's great. And then I do my roast battle. It doesn't go great. I look over and he's one of the judges, and I didn't even know beforehand until I look over. He's high as a kite, telling me how awful I am.
Aww.
Now he was actually. Some guys are good, like Bill Burr won't shit on other comics.
Okay.
He just won't do it. He's done the Kill Tony where the comic does a minute set and then you critique it, and he's like, dude, I get it. I've been there. It sucks that we're even exploiting younger guys. And in the roast battle, it's fine because you sign up for it.
Right.
You sign up for it in both instances,
Yeah.
but you have to deal with like criticism. And if it doesn't come from another comic,
Jeff Garlin is another one who was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And he would take people on the road with him.
He was great.
Like, who have you had? Did you? What kind of feedback did you get? So you did the Laugh Factory international.
Yeah. yeah. That was it was very interesting because like what you're saying, I was up there with people who are actually very famous in their countries, you know. So it was intimidating because I know them, you know.
Every country gets a winner.
Every country gets a winner.
And you're representing Czech Republic,
right?
And of course, that's a huge honor.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And other countries have I'm sure the countries from France have they have a comedy scene.
I think France didn't make it to the finals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, but Germany did. They had.
So this
Michael
is like World War
Mittermeier.
III. You're fighting Germany in stand up. And comedy should never be subjected to competitions.
I
But
don't
that's what we
think
do.
so. Yeah.
We judge because that's the only way you know how to like.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be that way, but it's an easy gimmick. So you're going to where'd you go to Sweden, Finland?
Finland. We went to Helsinki. It was my first time in that country.
So you got to be funny and you're a Czech chick speaking English, being funny in Finland.
I never thought about it like that, but
How
it
do you-
sounds pretty trippy.
I can't do my set in my homeland, my motherland. I have a hard time. So what's the audience like there?
You know what? I have to tell you this. I was very concerned about that, and I really, you know, I overthought my set a lot. You know, I was overthinking it, and I had a great set. It was good, but you know, looking back, I'm like, I should have just not think about it too much. You know, I was like
trying to play
make
to the
it
audience.
exactly for the finish. And then, you know, the funniest part about it was that I would have jokes that were specifically for Finnish audience. So the judges wouldn't even get it because they were not from Finland. Audience loved it, but I could tell the judges are not laughing. And I'm like, ugh, just whatever.
In what world do you have to pander to the Finnish
Right.
audience? Oh yeah, I got this salmon bit that's going to really kill. I got global healthcare jokes.
Yeah.
But they do have a good standard of living, right?
They do have a great
Was it like
standard
what
of
they
living.
say? It's like really just...
And they speak English very well. And mind you, that show was for 4 hours of comedy.
Wow.
So who
4
did,
hours
do you,
of comedy.
how did you place?
With the same audience. You don't
They would
place.
be exhausted.
Oh, you either win or you don't?
Yeah.
So who won? What country won?
Malaysia.
Which is bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah.
How the United States doesn't win? I mean,
Well, the
obviously,
United
I
States
get
wasn't
it.
in there.
I get it
we-
because they're working.
Yeah, no, and most importantly because they you know the famous comedians wouldn't sign up for it. Thank God,
Because then they lose to someone.
everyone would lose. Like nobody would have a chance. So you know,
So Malaysia's the
think-
funniest country.
So I think it was,
Wow.
you know, it made sense. But again, like the Malaysian is a big superstar in Malaysia, and like in you know,
And was he funny in English?
You know, like I could appreciate him. You know, he's a great guy. I appreciate his comedy. I appreciate his stage presence. He's definitely like an entertainer. Did a
They
lot.
have a lot of like casinos
But
there,
those
don't they?
jokes to me
Oh, yeah,
were
they've
very
got-
similar. Those jokes to me were very similar to Russell Peters. And
Well, yeah, they're kind of like standard jokes,
Right,
And
it
I
was
feel like a lot of the
nothing-
rest of the world is a few years behind us.
I think so,
because we're on to like, all right, don't show me the punchline. Be funny, be authentic, and I don't. And whenever you tell a joke that's gonna like, but boom, it's like the audience groans because it's like we've like really done that.
Not
but
to mention, like I feel like American comedians, they talk about stuff that's unique or somehow like specific to the. It's not just like, oh, so the difference between girl and guy, and like, oh, we don't.
It's like more
we don't get
personal.
kids. Yeah, and I like that better.
And it's already been done. That was
better.
like guys are like this, girls are like. I still do
Exactly.
jokes like that. I mean, but you know,
But so what I wanted to actually I forgot to mention that. So I was thinking about, and I did that set and it was great. But then I did some shows in Czech and whatnot. Again, was overthinking it. Then I went to Berlin, I went to Germany, and I was finally like I was working very hard for the last month, and I was like, you know what, I just want to have fun. And if I'm gonna be in Berlin and I'm gonna be doing shows, I'm gonna be talking about what I want to talk about, and I want to be doing what I want to be doing. And the moment I did that, and stopped like catering to the audience, and I was just like, I'm just gonna talk about what the fuck. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, and I guess that's something people
hindsight's
forget.
easy, but that's where you forget.
Yeah, you
That's
forget.
like in every movie
Yeah.
when it's like, save the last
Superman.
dance. No, be you, and then all of a sudden you're grinding on a black guy.
True. Like yeah.
That's how my night ends. I give a good set. I grinded on a black guy, so it was fine.
Yeah.
That's how-
And with the Germans, you would think they would not appreciate comedy, but like.
Yeah, nine.
awesome.
Next, nine.
9.
Nine. That's how they swipe on Tinder. They just nine. You got to be watching this, folks.
Not
if
to
you're
mention, I actually speak German.
Oh, geez.
Really?
Yeah, and I wouldn't even like start with like my brother was asking me after like, oh, so did you speak like German? I was like, no. I was like,
What's
fuck
your
you.
best language? And give me the ranking.
Best language?
Like, what do you speak?
I speak Czech.
Okay, that's your
English.
But is English in? Because when I went to Prague, got off the plane. Next thing you know, there's all these.
You did?
bands.
I didn't.
Yeah,
know
I was
that.
there for Christmas like a decade ago. I did a whole episode.
Maybe you
on
should
it.
explain to people where Prague is.
Prague is in central. It's actually in Central Europe. Everything. I always thought it was Eastern Europe, but it's Central, right?
It's historically it's Eastern Europe, but like geographically it's more like center.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then they've got.
As of we were
got
funded
old
by
Times,
Russia.
You got Old Times Square. My step grandmother studied in Prague at, I believe it's called Charles University.
My mom graduated and my aunt graduated from that university.
Because it's Charles River, just like in Boston has a Charles River. And then it's one of the oldest cities for magic, which we're going to the Magic Castle tonight, by the way.
Yeah, gonna be
But
fun.
you got to go to Prague. I mean, that black magic was like that. If there was like the
Did you say black magic, like
Yeah.
from Harry Potter?
African American magic. Sorry. Why does it have to be black? It's black magic. Isn't that what it's called? Black magic. They were doing like
I know. I think black
sorcery,
magic is like
wizards,
Evil
but
magic.
What-
It means evil magic. It
evil
doesn't mean
magic.
like.
oh, I thought black magic could be good. Why does
No.
black have to connotate evil all the time?
Because we are in America. That's
Yeah.
Did we
That's
invent
the
black
rules.
magic? So anyway, Prague was amazing. I went to nightclubs.
Oh, of course you did. You went to that 3-story nightclub.
Yeah, I stayed at the hostel. Like,
Lázně.
yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
there was Australian chicks falling out of their bunk beds in the hostel. Everyone was wasted. It was a ton of fun. It was good. That's how they partied. And then they
Until
Christmas.
like 5-6 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was just insane. It was a ton of fun. Anyway, so Prague's cool. You got to do their late show.
Yeah, late night.
What's it called?
It's a late night show.
Did you do a set or you just did like a panel?
No, I did I was a guest.
Nice. And then you show up and you're like the
Yes.
celebrity.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Who?
So weird. Tell me about
What kind of like people watch? I hate to sound so
It's
ignorant.
on
but-
TV. Like it's the
So you guys
late
have
night show.
television
We
sets.
do, I know we do have television.
It's not just like a radio channel. People have to like go to the highest hill to
Oh my
listen to.
god! Oh my god!
Okay,
We have
so-
everything.
So did you get any buzz from that? Did you get any stalkers?
I already had like some following before that, so I got a little bit more, I guess, and I was in magazines and stuff, and it's interesting, but it's not real. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel.
Yeah.
It didn't help me in an
You come back here and you're not all of a sudden.
I come
on
back.
phone
Yeah,
and because
exactly.
you do.
I mean, maybe if I stayed there and I live in that fantasy, it would.
You need to be like branded as like the Czech chick or like something.
And who has
Prague's
time
finest.
for that? You know
Who's
what I mean?
time for that? So it's so funny because then you get to perform in front of great audiences, travel the world, and then you come back to Los Angeles, the most apathetic town in the world, and it's just like, yeah, what's up? What do you got? And then you're like, and then like by naturally talking about your travels, the audience just becomes jaded because they're like, oh, I'm stuck here. I haven't had that break. I wish I was a half black chick from Prague. I can't do this. And then we all get in our heads. But what's it like? Did you gain a confidence while over there that?
I thought you were gonna say, did she gain some pounds?
That's my second question. My next question. I equate confidence with pounds. The more pounds I have, the less confidence I have. It's an indifferent kind of ratio.
No, I did not gain any confidence at all. Honestly, at all.
But you
Zero.
learned the art of detachment, which if we can sort of spin that into relationships, when you're able to detach on stage, the audience believes you more. They're not worried about you, and you don't feel nervous, and you have this like flow of like, I don't care if I please you or not. It just perfectly relates to dating, though.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that thing doesn't last very. It's not like
you might have a magic night where you're totally
Exactly.
detached, but it's hard to
Exactly.
harness that for every single day.
I had that this morning.
Just like in a
I
relationship.
posted a status update this morning where I said this out loud. Tasha wasn't even listening, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. She was scrolling through her Facebook, and I just had a big sip of coffee, so I had all this like caffeinated confidence, and I just go, "Who wouldn't want to book me?" And then she wasn't even. And I was like, "Okay."
But you know what?
But I just had that confidence, and I'm like, I wish I had that in 3 hours.
Yeah.
We lose that like sort of like feeling, and that's the blissfulness that makes you come up with genius ideas.
Yeah.
And if you can like capture that confidence when you walk into a bar, if you're a single guy and you feel that, chick's gonna be like, "What the fuck is
Who'd
this
want
guy
me?"
so happy
Yeah.
about?" And then who's not gonna want to talk to you? You know,
Yeah.
but you're right. You don't have it,
And I
It's
think men have it so easy because like women
jeez.
really don't care so much about your looks
Now, if you
as much as you care about our looks.
I care about my looks. I got coconut oil on my face. I'm just trying to
Well,
delay.
you're special, Dave.
I look like
You
a
are-
shiny.
You are an actor in Los Angeles.
Well, I wouldn't label myself as that. That's like saying I've got AIDS. That's in LA. Like, yeah, well, hey, keep it on the DL. But I'll never forget. I don't forget compliments, believe it or not, because they're few and far between. But I think you said I'm your favorite white guy.
Yeah.
Which people who say white guy as if that's just like the shit stain of society. Oh, straight white guy. Here we go.
No, in comedy, not like in life.
No, you can't retract the compliment. I'm holding on to it. You said it. But not to spin off that so much, but there are a lot of creeps in comedy of all
because
races.
because you're not creepy at all. You've never been to anyone. When I watch you around like girls and guys, you've never done anything that would creep me out, or I would be like, oh, never. Ever.
Yeah, I'm looking at Tasha
I
like,
get a
see?
plus for
I'm
that.
sliding Bianca a $20 bill. I'm sliding her a crown, right? Are they called crown, the Czech currency?
And I think you're very focused. Like I necessarily like in comedy you have a lot of people who just like hang out. And
It's a
like,
scene, yeah.
And they do shit. They do nothing, and you really work hard, and I appreciate.
Oh,
that,
thanks. I mean, look,
it
now I feel
motivates me.
I can't take compliments because now I feel weird.
Okay.
But I was just trying to say I'm a nice guy. But
I never noticed that you were a redhead until
my
now.
face.
Yeah, your face.
and what a
his
curse!
beard.
What a curse!
I like it a lot.
The more I grow facial hair, the
redder it
gingery I get. My soul
weird.
slowly leaves. Sorry, redheads. I don't know that thing where like redheads.
I
don't
would
have a
call
soul.
that auburn.
Yeah.
It's like brown and red.
Now,
Just
guys
like a
don't
little red
use
thing.
Red.
like colors like auburn. It's red. It's red, it's black, or it's brown. Those are the options. Or blonde.
Yeah,
That's what you
it's
get.
red.
I have auburn musk to my mustache here.
You can actually start doing red jokes.
Oh yeah, I should. And then I
Yeah.
shave off. That's the problem. Half my set makes fun of my hair. God forbid I lose it in like a lightning storm.
I feel the same way about my husband.
Does he have the ponytail?
No, but half of my jokes are about him.
Oh, yeah.
So if you get
I lost
divorced,
him,
it's
it
like-
Well,
would be
here's
really
what
bad.
happens. Like,
It would be-
God forbid he dies.
God forbid.
Then your joke just gets a little bit longer, and the audience feels a little bad. Like you can spin it with a couple like my ex, my divorced, my widow. You can slowly.
Oh Lord.
Well, you brought it up, so you're married to an American dude.
Yeah.
So you got that out of the way. That's good for your career because that's one less thing.
To worry about.
I mean, unless I always feel like, look, if you're watching and you're single, I hate to sound like the guy who's like, you need to get
Have you
married.
had married people here on this show?
A couple,
Yeah.
or like, have we had too many married? People that were married, but not like, we've had comic couples come on that weren't necessarily married, and we've had married people come on without their spouses, but, I mean, do you have a freedom to what is he? You're able to. No one knows him. That's great. You're able to detach. No, because I'm a first name basis on stage. Like, oh, Tasha. Like, it's like, no, it's. I don't even. People just know.
Every time you say a girlfriend joke, they know it's about me.
Yeah, but because of that, I don't.
Even
say
the
it.
nasty, like, other ex-girlfriends from a long time ago jokes.
No, every ex-girlfriend joke I have, I'm the butt of the joke. Of course,
Yeah,
I'm
of
not.
course. Yeah,
I've
I
understood that like you got to punch up, not down, and
Yeah.
and even the ones that like it's better to frame it like they broke my heart than I broke theirs. Who wants to hear? Yeah, I broke some chick's heart. They'd be like, oh fuck you.
Who wants to listen
But
to that?
the truth is I probably have been more scarred. I feel like an empath. Like when I get very sensitive when I think something is a good thing, and I kind of my neuro positivity. I create situations where I'm like, this is the person for me, and then when I find out they're not, I'm heartbroken.
Okay. When was tell me about the worst breakup you ever did to someone else? Like you fucked up somebody
Jeez.
over.
Well,
I
in
will
high
lose
school,
mine.
a girl fell in love with me who was younger than me. She fell in love with me, and she made me like pottery and all this stuff. And I found out like later on, she made me like Valentine's gifts, and I found out later on that she like went to therapy over
because
it.
of you.
Yeah, and look,
What did you do to her?
nothing.
Did
nothing.
You
did
just
receive
weren't
those
as
gifts?
I think especially young people, like in relationships, your first love or your like middle school boyfriend or girlfriend, like a lot of your self-worth, like you don't really have like a defined self-worth and knowing who you are. And so even if nothing really outrageous happens, you get torn up over it because you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not wanted, or
Did
whatever.
you talk to her though?
Afterwards, I found out.
No,
she
like
was-
during.
Well, no, I mean, like I didn't know. I was just like, I just didn't know what.
Well, when she gave you a gift, did you say thank you?
Oh yeah, of course, all that. Oh, here's the problem. I was super charming. I mean,
You were like a big
Here's
flirt.
the problem.
Here's the problem.
I'm super
No,
charming.
but you don't know
Women love
that
me.
I was so insecure that I could affect somebody else's emotional state of being. Even to today, it's hard for
So
me
you
to
don't
think.
take responsibility for it.
I've had to learn, and I was so sympathetic and apologetic to her to be like, "Oh my gosh, I put you through that,"
Oh, that's
because
so
I've
nice.
had people put me through that might have not understood.
Oh, wow.
And maybe she was being brave and not. Maybe she didn't call me out and be like, "You fucking piece of shit, you led me on. I thought this, I did all this for you." In the end, she just kept on giving, and I just wasn't receiving what she was giving, which is fair. I mean, she was younger. I was going to college, and it wasn't even we weren't even dating. It wasn't even like that. But afterwards, I found out, I was this chick's like crush.
Oh.
And she could watch this and be like, "Dave, you have it all wrong," blah blah blah. But like, she was like, I shouldn't even be telling.
Write a comment. Let us know.
I mean-
What do you think about this whole thing?
Tori. And
She's like, it wasn't about you. It was about me and my parents.
No, and who knows what it was about?
And my
And
dad not loving me enough.
I hate to say that, like that helped. Like she figured her own. She was a good enough person where I'm sure she figured it out. And if
But unrequited love is like Shakespearean. Like it's been something that destroys people since the beginning
Romeo
of
and
time.
Juliet were like her age, like 14. She was like 14 or 15 or 15
Yeah.
or 7, whatever. So it's like, I don't know if that counts. I've had girls dump me because they like saw that I was like getting committed and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing, man? Like what, So that's how, I mean, have you had to like bat guys away? Be like, "Dude, slow down."
Let me think about this for a second. I definitely broke some hearts, but I was definitely conscious of it, and it made me feel really good. No,
That's what, women gain
that's
the
how women
energy
are fucked up.
of
You're just like,
fucking
oh,
men's
I can
souls.
destroy him for all the other women who get their heart broken by
But
other
you're
ones.
joking, but I feel like that's partly a power
No,
thing.
I don't think that at
Women
all.
love rejecting men. You get something out of it.
No. Maybe some women,
Tasha,
but I have
you-
never enjoyed hurting somebody.
No.
You don't enjoy hurting me emotionally.
Sometimes I have to admit, like sometimes it gives me like a great pleasure if I see him like apologizing to me.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. It just feels good. It's like, oh, he
That's
cares.
Tasha's pre-workout
it's like,
energy.
He cares. That's the only way I know he
I-
cares.
No, but I take apologies very seriously because it's like owning up to like being a dick or doing something wrong, or even if it's not on purpose, like making a little mistake, like acknowledge that you made a mistake. If you can't acknowledge
Tasha
it,
is like a lawyer. She's like, you apologized, but it didn't end in a period. There was a comma, then you said but. And that means you weren't accountable. And I was like, I said sorry. And I literally should live stream it just so I can play it back. And look, I said sorry. I felt, but sometimes when I like actually feel genuine, I'm like, I get more sort of like boardroom, like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't. And she's like, whoa, why are you getting hostile? I'm like, because you're not believing me. And it's important for us to just remember, like, to not return fire with fire, or if I think she's being like aggressive. My biggest thing that you would probably agree is my defensiveness, and then Tasha escalating my defensiveness. So like today, Tasha was like, "Hey, I thought I asked you to run the vacuum." My response today was, "Oh yeah, I think I just I'm doing I
got distracted.
Yeah, I got distracted." So she was like, "All right, no worries," and that was
nice.
it. But like yesterday,
on another day,
I'm like, I fucking ran. I'm doing this. I got this. They're coming. I made the bet. Like I would just like be defensive because I take that as her telling me I'm
the thing about these
failing.
little things, when people live together, I think the problem is that like, as a woman, like you see a lot of things, and a lot of times you don't say anything because you don't want to be that woman who keeps like bothering and being nagging and stuff. So you don't. But then there's like a little thing that sets you off, and you're like, well, I told you to do that.
Every guy has
and then
that.
I understand that, like, you, as a guy, you're like, well, why do I have to do it when she said it like right now? Like, why can't I do it like tomorrow or in a couple of hours? But you don't understand that at that point when we ask you, we already had it in our mind like 6 times before that. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing: every guy has done. Okay, the camera's on me. Every guy has done this. We've been doing the dishes. We've been a good boyfriend, good husband, whatever. And then we're doing the dish where we're cleaning the knife. So we have the knife in our hand. And this has happened. And every guy in the world has thought this. I could just stab her in the fucking side of the stomach right now. I could. It's just one away.
you don't think every girl has thought that too?
But instead, this would suck if Tasha gets stabbed, and I'm like, oh, okay. Episode 199.
Yeah, the police are bringing it up. He said he was going to stab her.
Prison.
We got this new ceramic knife. She wouldn't even feel it, just right through the cup. But that's I mean, look, okay, maybe I just outed myself, but it's like, and then you take a second, you
if
go,
anything happens to Tasha, we know it was you.
I know, it's great. So now someone's gonna, okay. So, but by the way, your Instagram views would go through the roof. If she got stabbed, I feel like that would be viral city.
If you took a picture of it and posted it.
I've always said that if some like feminist group could just write a blog about me being like, this guy's a piece of shit, I'd get so many more downloads. I've tried though. I've tried. I'm just that vanilla where people really don't take offense to what I'm saying, to the point where I might get a downvote, but I'm not getting blogs written about me. Help me with that.
Why would you? No, please do not set yourself up to be a target of online abuse.
Well, friction's good.
Of a handsome white guy who can say whatever he wants.
Right. They don't even care. I
think that they've been writing blogs about
I think
privilege.
they're just apathetic to me. They just, are you getting a phone call? Answer the phone call.
No, it's from Belglade, Florida. You know how many people I know in Belglade,
you
Florida?
Want a cruise
0.
ship.
Yeah. I want a cruise. Or it's India trying to sell me Viagra.
Or maybe they're watching. Maybe they're watching and they wanted to comment on that.
Ugh, I'm so.
Anyway,
so
we're all over the place, which is totally fine. What does your husband do though that like is annoying to you? Do you call him out on it, or do you just let it slide?
Well, the cleaning stuff is definitely like, But the thing is, I'm also not like a clean freak. I'm not,
You're not
So we can together make a big mess, because we are both chill. But then, then it reaches the point and you're like, no. And then I clean everything, right? And then I just would like to keep it that way for a little longer, And
do you
I
bite
just
your
see
lip
his
or
clothes and like, I'm like, dude, like I just cleaned it.
Guys can't put our clothes away. We just fling.
Every night before I go to bed, there's like 2 pairs of socks and a pair of shoes, and they're just
I open the door. I get home
everywhere.
I get home late. I open the door, and I know if he's home because like the first thing I would see his shoes, then his pants, then his shirt, and it
like
just goes to the bedroom.
Does it make you scared to have kids? Because it makes me scared to have kids. Like
I didn't even think about that.
I'm gonna get more.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Right?
When I think about kids, I think about my career, but I never think about it. I would have to clean more. But now that you brought it up,
it's like, what if they're little versions of him and they just can't? They're incapable of picking up their shoes.
My worry is that they're little versions of her,
them.
and then I got 3 sets of eyebrows staring back at me. And part of me wants to have a daughter that is like Tasha. So one day I can look at Tasha when the daughter's like 15 and she's hiding, makeup and a thong in her pocket. So when she goes off to school, she's that's really. And then I'm just like, this is you. You did this. I look at Tasha's parents like they're really good people. I'm like, how did you create this monster? Because we go home and I'll like try to call Tasha out on normal things, and Tasha's mom will be like, don't start things. Like, I'm like, I'm not the one. She'll literally say that several times.
Wow, but it's a great mom that she's like on your side.
No, they're enabling.
That's nice. My mom is usually like she takes his side. It's like,
as a comic,
my mom has taken your side plenty of times, babe. It's just funny because my parents and we used to fight so much when I was younger, and now that I have moved out, our relationship is so much better when I go home. Yeah. I mean, really,
but they do serve us
different
all day long when we're home. So I wonder, like, they could never keep up with that serving. Like, God forbid, what if like your mom was like, "Hey, Tasha, do the dishes."
I do the dishes all the time when I'm there anyway.
Your family's good with that.
We're good about helping each other out. It's more about just like they know not to start shit. Like from back in the day, everybody always starting stuff like. They have just decided that, oh, wow, it works so much better when we just don't pick on each other or like whatever else.
Yeah.
And so now everybody was after, 10 years of hindsight is like, oh, it's just so much nicer to be nice to each other.
But
keep it pleasant.
Tasha's younger sister is like almost like a mother figure because she lives at the home. And so like when Tasha goes home, you can see like sort of that rank kind of like Tasha's like, I'm still the older bitch here. And then her sister's like, yeah, but this has to happen. Like Tasha comes into her biosphere now. So it's very interesting. I'm that way with my family too. With like my sister and I get along, but it's because I don't have to live with her. I used to throw baseballs at her. She'd piss me off so much. Like she used to piss me off so much, and I could. And when you're a kid, you can punch, you can hit and stuff. Like I can't do that now. I lose the case.
My brother would beat me too when we were.
But so you have an older brother,
Yeah.
singer, right? Famous Czech singer.
Yeah,
Is he releasing music out there?
Yeah, he's doing really good, and he also does the jiu-jitsu, which is
geez.
you know that's a sport.
Yeah, that's an Olympic
He's
sport, right?
Yeah. And he picked it up like year ago, 2 years ago. Now he I think he won the European Championship. He's like crazy. Like anything he touches turns into gold.
Wow.
So this is what I have to live up to. So no wonder I'm a comedian.
But
that's all I have left.
You should touch your joke book.
Yeah, he should. Oh,
Could
once
use him
I
in
let him.
Finland.
I was running this mic in Prague 2 years ago or a year ago, and he came and he's like, yeah, I was like, do a set, and he did a set, and then I'm like, don't ever fucking do this again. You're too good. This is my thing.
Yeah?
Okay, he's funny.
Okay, so you have one older brother, is that
and
it?
one younger brother.
Oh, so you're middle child.
Yeah.
Middle child and a woman. You must have been guarded.
Well, not really, because my younger brother is 17 years younger than me.
Okay, that's what I have. I have an 18-year age difference. So you're like an aunt.
Right.
You're like the sweet, but he's not.
Well, but he doesn't really. I mean, if I were an aunt, I think he would have a little bit more respect for me. I don't think he has enough
because he's got that honest sibling. So wait, same parents?
No, my little brother is actually super white.
Wait, so your mom?
My mom is white.
Or,
yeah.
so you got a white mom and a black dad.
Yeah.
How did they meet?
In school.
College?
Yeah.
And they were both Czech?
University. They both, yeah. My dad was he was studying in engineering in Czech Republic.
So this is an archaic way of thinking, but a lot of people like a white guy with a black girl. A lot of people look at it differently than a black girl with a white guy. Did I say that right?
What? How? Tell me how.
Well, I feel like white guys. If a white guy has a black girlfriend, it's different than if a black guy has a white. Because black guys with a white girlfriend, society looks at this white chick's leave. And
I don't think so.
No,
we had this. We talked about
this.
This
is interesting.
With Nate.
Yeah.
That a friend of mine said he's black, his wife is white, and he said that he gets a lot of hate from white guys, and then on the other side, black girl with white guy gets a lot of hate from white girls.
Oh,
so
no.
maybe you don't feel.
I would
this
say
in Europe.
black guys more than white girls.
But it's just it's just a thing where you hear of
Well, so what do you think is better? What combination?
Oh, I don't think there's anything better. I just think that there's different people have different points of view. So you married a white guy, you don't have black guys being like, dude, he can't handle you. That's it. Or maybe that's just a friend.
Well, I don't hang around those people, but I'm sure they exist.
No,
but they're not your friends. You're not oh yeah, come over and insult.
They exist. I feel like I've got now if no one's agreeing with me, I feel like I'm making this up, but it's out there.
Yeah,
but it's
funny to me too because my mom is white, so if you diss white people, you're dissing half of me.
Yeah, and now you've got a full white husband, white. So now your kids would be a quarter black.
Let's see what happens.
Do the math. We get a dry erase board and just
let's see those little dirty things what they turn out to be.
I mean, I could just imagine.
Do you not want kids?
I do. I definitely do want kids, but I don't know if it's in the cards for me. We'll see.
What's the rush?
Yeah.
You want my whole thing's always be as secure in your job as possible. Mm-hmm. That way you can plan around the kids,
exactly,
or even move if your jobs as comics. Because it's all about the supply and the demand. So Kickstarter has this new thing where we talked about this before, but if we say we wanted to book a theater, like a small theater or something in Czech Republic or London or wherever, you can book a place and then sell tickets on Kickstarter,
so cool.
And people will get their money back. If you don't raise the money, you don't fly out to it. Right. How cool is that?
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wouldn't that be like a cool way to travel or something? If there was say you had some real or Finland, say you just killed it in Finland, we want Bianca back, and then you could just. Anyway, so for those watching or listening, if you guys want to send me to anywhere in the world, I'll go. There's not one place where I won't do a show.
So Detroit. Back to that racial thing. That was interesting.
Yeah, I just tried to.
It was really interesting. I never thought about it.
I was like, all right,
I started it, but I'm just gonna go to Kickstarter.
We just look at people that way, you're dating that, or you're dating this, and it's.
Well, there's still a lot of judgment on interracial dating, and not just black and white people too, but like dating an Asian or, you know.
Oh, no, like, here's the thing, okay? I was at the comedy show the other day, and I saw a black girl with an Asian guy, and I have to say it was the first time that, I raised my eyebrow. I was like, whoa, that's great. But it's definitely like,
Asian
wow,
guys
okay,
in society,
Asian guy
Indian
with a
as
black
well,
girl.
have not been portrayed well in film. They're never the leading man. It's just, up until like Aziz Ansari's, whatever his Netflix show is,
Master of None.
Yeah, it was an awesome show, but like they haven't been portrayed that way, and that's part of the issue. But I wonder, is it nature or nurture? Are we attracted to things that are similar to us? Like people have told Tasha and I that we look alike.
Yeah, you two are. I think there are you two are attracted to people.
I think we look nothing alike.
No,
do we? Hold on.
Get the two shot.
In the. Where's the two shot?
Yeah, click on the two shot.
No.
Do we
Tasha's
look alike?
much prettier.
No. He's
eyebrows.
pale. I'm tan.
Easy.
He's red. I'm dark.
She's a cunt. I'm not. No, I said the C word.
But you know what I mean. Like, I think certain people are attracted to people who kind of look like them, and I'm sure there are some signs to that. But who knows?
But
who knows
also,
if it's about looks or if it's about who you
familiarity or what you grew up
for
with.
like genetic diversity, you should be attracted to somebody who's completely the opposite of you, like way different from you. If you wanted to build like stronger humans.
For instance, like I'm not really attracted to like mixed guys, you know?
Oh, really?
No, because they always remind me of my brother.
Or I was going to say, because
I'm always creeped out.
So,
I'm like, you look kind of like my brother.
You're attracted to white guys only?
So either white or like black. But like don't
not black.
like Idris Elba black. You know what I mean?
Like Somali.
Like just like a bit, like
Is that
like,
racist? Oh,
I don't know. Well,
anymore.
Idris Elba is not like some. He's like just a black big guy.
All right, you want a black guy, but
yeah.
That's so you don't want like that criminal, that light skinned black guy with the nice eyes.
No, I
that's
don't.
your perfect. You know
the
what I'm
criminal is that?
You don't want that criminal.
About?
I know he was talking about a show, but it was funny. So you don't want the criminal guy.
No, the guy was a felon, and his
and then his
mugshot.
girlfriend
he became a model.
And then his girlfriend shot him.
What?
You didn't know that happened?
He was probably doing the
model
dishes.
Mugshot guy.
Yeah. So he got really famous out of this thing, and I think his girl got insecure, and then when he got out of prison or something, she shot him.
Jeez.
That's funny.
But he didn't die. He didn't die.
I think he died, yeah.
No, you're making this.
Well, Google it. Find out
Google
about it.
Who cares? The fucking guy's dead now.
No, I think he died.
Oh, way to end that story.
I just feel like I couldn't date a mixed guy with like the skin and the light eyes, because he would be douchey because he's too good looking. So he's like just a douchebag, you know?
Well, here's the thing. So if Tasha dated a black guy who was smaller than me, like, so let's take race out of it. Let's just go body size. Tasha, when you were your first boyfriend, before like boyfriends were like, right? She dated a guy who now plays for the Steelers.
Oh, wow.
Right? Big.
Why did you let it go?
I was in 6th grade and I was not ready for a relationship.
but so women.
I was like afraid of boys.
But would Tasha care if I dated a girl in 6th grade who then became like a swimsuit model? I don't think.
I mean, not 6th grade, no, but like last year, yeah, that would be.
Exactly. So,
like what?
And I honestly never cared. But now he's like playing for the Steelers. He's a big black safety, and that's fine. And it's not his race. It's not his skin.
He's big black?
Yeah, he's a black guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to say it. He's a black guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's a black guy. So, but the point was like, I'm not, but he was bigger. So I'm like, all right, he's playing professionally. I barely played in high school. Like, so.
Yeah.
So you're insecure because he's bigger than you?
Well, if he offered you tickets, I'd be like,
I get
oh,
it.
geez.
You know, it's the same way like girls would get insecure if his ex-girlfriend was smaller.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Skinnier.
She's skinnier than
She's
me.
skinnier than me. I'm not
Tasha,
okay with that.
are you insecure of any of my exes?
Babe, I don't know.
You don't know them. I think it's a good thing not to know your exes.
I'm so much better off.
One of our
so much better
Don't
off.
ever ask about his exes.
No.
Here's what happened. One of our friends
said something to me and like showed me a picture of one of them.
No, she didn't.
We're at a party.
Yeah.
We're at a party.
No.
Yeah.
We're at this girl's
You have
house.
a friend.
She's a good friend of ours, but she had no idea. We're at our friend's house, Marina.
No, she did have an idea. She was like, "Oh, this is his ex-girlfriend."
She had an idea.
Here,
she
look.
100% had an idea. Like,
I know, but she obviously didn't have malintentions. So I'm literally on the
No,
roof.
of course not.
I go up to the roof. I'm grilling with the guy. We're hanging out, and I come back down, and Tasha's mad at me all of a sudden. I'm like, "What did I do?" And our friend was showing Tasha like photos of who my ex
Well,
was.
she was saying like, "Oh yeah, we used to be really like she's still my friend. We're really good friends."
Friend.
Yeah, it was a
We
weird
were all
thing.
in this in a
Luckily,
similar.
I was able to forget it very quickly. I don't know what any of your
We all have
ex-girlfriends look
those
like.
friends.
I don't even
I
know if
what,
I know any of their
what
names.
2 or 3 of your ex-boyfriends look like. Did
they look good?
Well, yeah. Tasha came to my first stand-up show ever when she was dating this guy, and I was like so excited that Tasha came because like my friend's here. She's beautiful. Blah blah blah. I was just excited that like a beautiful girl came into my show.
I have goosebumps that she brought a guy with her.
No. But I wasn't trying to fuck her.
We were just friends at the
Yeah.
time. Like
I
we hung
genuinely
out a lot.
wasn't-
I think maybe you were still dating somebody else, right?
I thought I was dating this other girl. She was probably fucking her ex. You know what I mean? Like I
But
thought.
you know, we were both in relationships, and we hung out a lot. But I was dating this guy. He was dating
I was
that
pathetic
girl.
because
So
I
you
was
saw
like,
that guy. What did you think?
I don't know. I honestly didn't have much of a thought. I was like, oh, it's cool that you brought. I was like, it's cool that you brought your boyfriend because like sometimes guys are territorial. Like, why would a guy want to go see how do I like if Tasha's buddy Brent was in a band and Tasha's like, hey, let's go see my buddy Brent play in the band. I'd be like, I don't want to fucking see some other guy be more creative than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it all comes down to over some rank and file, and I sound super insecure, but it's like, what guy wants to see Tasha be like, wow, like okay, so we're going to the Magic Castle.
Except if it's an improv show, because I brought my husband to an improv show with my friend, and that definitely was not it.
Yeah, but I'd be like, all right, let's watch this fuckface bomb on stage. I've been there before, but like tonight we're going to see Tasha's friend Carl. He's a world famous world famous magician. He's been on the podcast before. He's brilliant, but there's no threat. Carl's not trying to, you know what I mean?
He's not gonna make her disappear.
Maybe initially,
he's not gonna make her disappear.
it's like, Carl, I know you got that good sleight of hand, but get out of her pants. What are you doing, Carl? Come on, that's not a rabbit you're pulling out of that hat. Oh boy!
Oh,
So I'm not threatened by him. He's a nice guy. He also did a good job of befriending
he lives
me.
on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
We only see him every few months. It's not like we're going on hikes every day.
But he's also not a threat to me, as far as what I'm doing. He's a great guy with what he does, but he's a friend. Like I can clearly pick up on that.
So what
vibe.
do you guys think about jealousy? Are you jealous of each other?
Jealous? Well, no, but I think sometimes Tasha will.
Post pictures on Instagram.
I'm not. That stuff doesn't bother me much anymore. But there will be an occasion where it's like 3 shirtless guys, and they're like
In the picture?
and they're like, you know,
Just-
they're at a modeling shoot, and they're
You're jealous of the models?
piggybacking with these dudes, and I'm like, fucking this mother. You know what I
Models,
mean?
like male models, are the worst, right?
yeah,
It's just
which
so
is
not
I think
attractive.
I've said that to Dave over and over. Like, there's no way I'm dating a male
Never.
model.
No. But
my thing is,
exactly
I know
what I said. They're too good looking
Yeah.
and they're douchebags.
I'm on a sugar free. I'm down 10 pounds. I'm gonna get that male model body, and
yeah?
then just watch the fucking confidence. No, I'll still be in.
Do you think you would have your confidence better or something?
My confidence has been better. Like, yeah, what guy
Really?
doesn't want to be able to take his shirt off? What guy doesn't want to be in a photo where, you know, we had a photo. We took this nice photo. My stepdad's convertible. We were home in Rhode Island, and someone took a photo of us, and I have my seatbelt on, and my fucking gut is hanging over the seatbelt. What guy? Who wants that? It's not a vanity so much as
you watched the Billboard special, right?
Yeah.
Where he talks about how hard it is to get a six-pack at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is ridiculously hard.
It's
I
hard.
have to have a coffee or drinks the night before. I have to be literally dehydrated to look remotely
So
in shape the
my
next
brother,
morning.
we were talking about my brother. He like 3 years ago, he was like bodybuilding, right? So he muscle, just like 200 pounds of muscle.
Jeez.
Just muscle. And then he started doing the jiu-jitsu, and he got on a vegan diet, and now he's just so cut. It's like,
Oh man, I
I
need his
keep
diet.
telling
Fucking
Dave we
weird.
need to go vegan.
So he's vegan, and he doesn't have like a gram of fat. It's just everything is so cut. It's
You're
just so,
sexually describing your brother here.
well, you know,
He's got that fuck me muscle right under his ass.
I am comfortable with my sexuality towards my brother.
They
'cause
just
I
look
know
like
there's- But
arrows pointing towards
I
his cock.
appreciate that because it's an art to create that.
Does
vibe.
your boyfriend score a lot of chicks?
What?
I mean, your boyfriend. Does your
Brother?
Does your brother score a lot of chicks? Or silly, yeah.
It's silly.
And how do you feel about that? Does he talk about his sex life?
Sometimes
to
he
you?
talks about it, and sometimes he's like too open.
How many years
Are
apart
you
are you?
judgy
3.
to him?
We're almost like twins.
Like, he's just a playboy and doesn't want to settle down?
Oh yeah, he is. But he's like, that's his lifestyle.
He's got to be my age.
Yeah, he's 30.
Okay, yeah.
He's gonna be 30 this year, and he's comfortable. He knows who he is, and he doesn't want to change that, and he loves his lifestyle. And
He's
going to
get sick of banging. Trust me, he's going to get lonely and sick of banging.
Well,
I
think he has like some girlfriends on the rotation or some kind of like he's got that. Like,
but here's what's going to happen. I mean, it can be a slow process, but eventually you're just going to want to have a friend, and you're going to make friends with one of these girls, and she's going to be like, why do I want to be with you? You're fucking other girls, and he's going to have to make a choice.
Well, the question is, and I think there's a problem of like people like that. My brother like literally is really like big, and then he really has like a lot of girl fans, and I think the question of that is when you look at people like Leonardo DiCaprio or like my brother would be equivalent to in his in that country. So if you look at that, and if you have the option to fuck every girl who just jumps into your bed, the question is, would you be tired? I mean, I don't know. Like,
right.
I don't
and
know.
if he's in a band or whatever, you have
my
like
thought,
wingmen.
though, is not right now. My thought is like 20 years
well,
from
Leonardo
now.
DiCaprio doesn't seem tired.
But Leonardo DiCaprio is still young enough that he's like kind of attractive. But
I know.
Right?
He looks like a muffin most of the time.
But
I bet he wish he has my hair. His man bun is looking pretty weak these days.
I don't even know what he looks
He's got
like
that
right now.
revenant
But I think
receding
like
hairline.
in 20 years,
Maybe in 20 years. Yeah.
he's not gonna be
That's when he
a
starts
young
fucking those
hot
trainees,
thing.
right? Like Eddie Murphy.
He's gonna be, he's gonna be older. He's gonna be like, I'm sure there's still like some
the problem
draw.
is like here's the thing. Like I understand like emotionally for sure. Emotionally, maybe even now. Emotionally, but sexually, is he capable of being faithful to one woman? That's the problem.
Yeah.
That I think there is.
Faith is an interesting thing.
If you like go like that, and if you really like, if you can fuck anything, and who's gonna get it up at some point? You know what I mean? One girl will be able to get his penis up for the next 20 years. Like I want to see that. How she's gonna?
It's a mutual. You have to mutually innovate and a mutually, I had a comic last night question my faith.
Faith? In
Yeah.
God?
Or my
like faithfulness.
faithfulness. Is that no?
Okay, because you said
Monogamy?
faith, and I was like,
When
what's
the word?
Talking
My
about
my
monogamy.
Faithfulness.
Monogamy.
I don't know why I wanted to use
Monogamy.
faith. My monogamy. He questioned.
yeah.
He was like, "Come on." And I've had that a few times, and that's fine because
Questioning?
well, that's just because the comics have set the bar so low about like there's a lot of pieces of shit. There's famous comics that have like very wholesome images that cheat. They just do. It just happens. So it's just a matter of accepting what people's judgments are on you. But like you're like a friend of mine. You kind of like probably have a better gauge of my morality than others. But I'm not, and then not to say I'm not a more moral than other guys. I just don't have the insecurity of like, oh, I made a girl happy, I have to fuck her now. And that's what a lot of comics feel because we weren't hugged enough as kids, or people didn't love us, or appreciate
they're just
us.
on like this endless mission to please, to please everyone, to get everyone's approval, to get everyone's love.
And that's fair to a point, but like you're just gonna like
also like I don't even think it's pleasing others. I think it's your confidence that's in a play. I think they would fuck that girl because they were like, oh, she wants me, she likes me.
You get a spike from it.
She lets me get inside her. That's
it's a power thing, and you get a spike of dopamine. But then the next morning,
I know a lot of comics who.
Oh, sorry, I don't want phones going. My
I know a lot
Verizon's
of
going to cancel my bill.
fucked girls when I'm like, wow, like that's not a pretty girl at all, but you did it. Wow,
And
like,
they just
you did it.
drink till it works for them.
Wow. So what I'm saying is, if you have a girlfriend that's like very pretty and like very smart and funny, I don't think monogamy is natural, honestly. I don't think it's something like you fall in love and you're like, oh, I just don't want to fuck anyone else. But I think that you just make the choice. You make the choice of like, is this worth it? Is it worth it to hurt the other person that I care for?
Yeah, and I think it's about your priorities too. Like some people prioritize like having a partner, having somebody that they can count on, a friend, and so. Over like having like a new person,
and
every
then a
week.
lot of people want both, and then they find out the hard way that you
can't
always
have it. Yeah, I guess that's my thought. Is like is with your brother, for instance, is he doing himself a disservice in the long run by like having?
I think it's like watching too much porn. I think it's the same thing.
It's a destructive habit.
It is, yeah. If you're a guy who's like addicted to porn, it's gonna eventually ruin your
relationship. You gotta be careful how often you get your rocks off.
So I think the same thing happens when you fuck around a lot.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, having fucking around a lot in porn is similar in the sense that if you lose that drive to like please someone specifically, like Tasha and I have
because
talked about
it takes
this.
work.
We've been on different schedules where like, we're just on different schedules, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, really, do I need to rub one out in the shower, or can I like make the time to fuck my chick? And that's like a thing that sometimes it's
real.
easier to like watch a porn video and masturbate, but it's like, is that really?
Is that like, what I really want?
But guys do. Like, there are plenty of guys that I'm sure are married that haven't fucked their wife meaningfully, but they're online like searching for some other kink, because morally it's like they're not fucking another chick, but it's like, like a girl walks by and he's like, I gotta masturbate to that image later. Like, guys, like, we save that shit. We screen grab that into our brain.
But
you really do that?
Sorry?
Like, guys really do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's okay.
I mean, I heard jokes about it, but I didn't know it was like a real thing.
It's okay. The fucking screen
learning
went dark
something
after.
new.
Yeah, well,
Actually.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's okay. People write in if you're in a relationship or single. sexactuallypodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. Is it okay? I mean, I think it's okay to like feed off of other people's sexuality in not in a harmful way. Like,
I think you just want to balance more than anything else. It's like, going to the gym. If you haven't been to the gym in a year, it's gonna be really hard to go to the gym on the first day. If you're not practicing stand up every single day, you're gonna be really out of shape when you finally want to have
consistently have sex.
No, I'm saying that it's like a workout, choosing to like be committed to someone, and if you never ever challenge yourself to try and be committed to somebody, then it's only gonna get harder and harder.
And we're late. People are inherently lazy, so it's like, why would I want to challenge myself? Why would I want?
But isn't it challenging enough to hear all these comedians talking about how hard it is to be single in this?
I mean, it's
going on those Tinder
comics
dates
are selfish. Like, it's hard because they're shitty people. Yeah. It's being single's hard if or dating. It's hard if you're just not giving valuing it. Once you value it,
well, it's challenging because you have to. It's not just up to you. You have to meet someone else who is on that level, someone else who is willing to put in the work, or like is looking for a true commitment, not just somebody who's like looking to get laid. And that's what's most challenging about being single and dating, especially in a town like this, is that it's harder to meet those people because there's not a lot of people who are really taking it seriously. And that's why statistically, like the paid dating sites have better results.
They do?
Yeah. Like Match.com, and what are the other ones that...
Oh, because you actually...
Christian Mingle? I don't know.
Well, if you have to pay for the service, even if it's only $5 a month, it's like you care better than... You're more serious about finding somebody than if you're just on Tinder or swiping.
Let's touch on that, because we've talked before, but I don't think we've talked on air about this. If you
I missed that. I never been on Tinder.
Me either.
Well, I was on it in the old days. I was on it when it was before, like way like early on, when it was just college kids, and they'd be like, "What is it?" Like, it started off as like a very like, I was like, I was like 26, being like, I'm old for this, and now it's like, everyone's got it. But you, Tasha, you had mentioned before about. Did you just pour coffee into an iced tea?
I'm so thirsty. Well, the tea is all gone, but I'm so thirsty, and I
gross.
don't want a hot coffee. I'm just going to have a little sip of iced coffee.
So we had mentioned before of when you put value into a relationship or even a date, when you spend money to take a girl out. The screen went black, but they can still hear us.
Yeah.
Fucking Verizon called me, and then the screen went blank. Can we get some technology that works here, people? Sorry. We're gonna wrap up in a second, but we're touching about the economics of the date. Right? Didn't you? Weren't we talking about this?
We were talking about this. Well, my philosophy, because I think we were talking about who pays on the first date.
Oh.
And in my opinion, it should be the guy, because typically it should be the pursuer, which in my situation is the guy, because I'm not really pursuing anybody. But here's my point. I'm not saying that girls should always make the guy pay for dates. I think it should come down to like sort of an even split, or I pay this time, you pay next time, if you start dating somebody long term. But I think a lot of guys get hung up. They don't want to pay on the first date. For me, it comes down to like value. I want to feel valued. I want to feel like you value me. And if you're not willing to put buy me dinner, then it's like, obviously you don't value me that much.
Not about money.
And to flip it around, the guy who's paying goes, "Oh, I'm paying to treat this girl on a date. I like her more than the girl that I didn't have to buy a shot before I fucked her." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
No, I agree.
So
and, you know,
it
I'm
fits
sorry.
both people.
And also, like, I'm sorry. It's like the last thing that we have, like, it's traditional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just goes back.
I let Tasha, when we were friends, I watched the dog and she was like, what do I owe you? And I was like, don't fucking,
Yeah.
I'm not taking your money
Yeah.
because I wanted it to do something nice for her.
Right.
And then she was like, all right, well, like, how about we go bowling then? And I was like, I'll settle for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause then I'm going to and I totally, when the bill came, I let her pay for everything. I didn't
Yeah.
even, I was like, you want like, you know, she was doing something. It was an exchange of goods and services, but it was also like, all right, I'm gonna. This is on me, and
There's
it's good to.
But not to
share
say,
that.
here's the thing. Okay, so you know, this is like what my mom taught me. You know, she was always like, "Oh, you have to be respectful and don't have sex right away." And not because, she, you know, she's all about sex, but like just because a guy can value
mom's all
you.
about sex?
She's all about sex. Like, so just the guy values you. You know, take your time, and like he has to pay to show that he can, and all that stuff. You know, and the irony is, to wrap it up, that with my husband, we started completely non-traditionally, but eventually we fell into the tradition thing anyway. So like we started as
non-traditionally.
traditionally. Like
Tasha and I could
started-
probably talk about, you know, agree on some levels with that too.
Yeah.
Non-traditionally, you got to work backwards.
Non-traditionally.
We started
Yeah,
as
we were
friends,
back-
so we had that. But
Yeah,
that-
we did too. You know, like
So you
friends. With friends.
so you kind of like ran the bases backwards,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you feel though that you put two? Like, were you like, oh shit, he's not gonna like me now? I fucking
I couldn't care less.
really.
I didn't care at the beginning because I wasn't in it for the long relationship.
Well, let's wrap it up with detachment. You were detached, and
I was detached.
and he was probably this chick doesn't care. I should pursue her.
I
She doesn't fucking care if she has me or not. I should pursue her.
Yeah, you're just
you
in
didn't
your
have
element.
neediness. That's
Yeah.
so important. People
Yeah.
listen. Wrap it up
So
on that.
it's not about the sex; it's about being needy. I think.
Oh, it's bad sex. It's
Yeah.
bad sex. But yeah.
Yeah, if it's a good sex, it helps. But
Did your mom talk about the sex is good, Bianca? Did your mom? You said she's sexual. Okay, now I'm asking questions I don't want to.
well,
answer.
now we're all adults, so I guess like now I talk to my mom about sex.
Really?
But it doesn't make me super comfortable.
I will never talk to my mom about sex. I
But
will
we are
never.
Europeans. We do, you know.
Let's leave the audience wanting a little more, just like your husband. And we gotta wrap up. We're at an hour.
Yes.
How can people find you? Share your stuff. What you got?
Well, I was going to say more about the economics. The Irrationality of Rationality is a good book that touches on that.
All right,
Oh,
we gotta check it out then.
There's a book about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a small part of it, but I want to say in the book it says, like, if you charge somebody $5 to go to a party, you know, like for a cup or something, they think that they've had more fun at this party than if they went to the same party and they didn't have to pay anything to get
wow.
in.
I'm
The
gonna start-
Irrationality of Rationality.
I'm going to start paying Tasha
somewhere.
for blowjobs.
Interesting. I
Feels like she'll feel like she enjoys it. She's like, I got a new purse out of this. Okay, we got to get out of here. Bianca,
great.
how can people find you? Social media?
Oh my
What-
God, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. It's Bianca Cristovao, Cristovao. I hope you're gonna write it down.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description.
So
and
it's just,
everything.
my first and last name, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and I have some cool shows coming up, and I also have a podcast coming up.
Yeah.
Mixed
Oh wait, but
up with Bianca and Medicine.
oh, so you only interview mixed people.
Yeah, you will
Jesus,
never-
I saw that and I was like, "Fuck this! What good does it get?"
No, but we
I'm gonna do a genetics chart and see. I think I have some.
You want to order a 23andMe?
No, we were thinking about it, and like we were saying that like down the road we will actually interview even.
Oh,
people
good.
of-
Thanks for
yeah.
keeping the door open down the road.
Yeah, so we are not. No, but so we don't live in the bubble of like.
Oh yeah, enjoy your mixed fetish.
Mixed fetish.
Everyone, go find Bianca. Get ready to listen to that. Come back on when that podcast is out, so you
Okay,
can
cool.
promote it again.
Thank
and
you.
Tasha, people.
Thank you so much for having me both. It was so interesting.
course.
And I learned a lot.
This was a lot of
actually.
fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, everybody knows me, Tasha Courtney, on Instagram and Twitter. Snapchat is Tasha TV. Come say hi.
And I'm just going to keep on pushing that. If you enjoyed this episode, it's free of charge. Just share it with your friends.
They should
share
pay
this
for it so
episode.
they can-
they should.
They can enjoy it better.
You should
I know.
charge
Honestly, I might start doing bonus episodes for pay. I might just start doing Patreon because why not? You know what I mean? We give this away every month or twice a week actually. So if you enjoyed this, I really appreciate having you. Share us with your friends. Just share. Look, I'm looking at you. Share us with your friends. We need to keep growing. January we hit 17,000 downloads total, which was amazing. Last
Yeah.
January we only had like 4,000. So all these new people listening. listening. If you want dating advice or want to give advice, just reach out to us, sexactuallypodcast@gmail.com. On Instagram, we're sexactuallypod, and on Twitter, sexactuallypod. Facebook, search Sex Actually, you'll find us. So if you wanted to catch the live stream of this, it'll be all over the YouTube and the Facebook. So the Facebook, I'm so old.
The YouTube.
We'll be on the Facebook if you want to
YouTube.
see how much Tasha and I look alike, or Bianca's nice hair. She refused to put her headphones on. That's such a black girl thing to do right there.
Oh, really? Okay.
No. You're like,
My bright half.
oh, yeah, at the end you do it. There you go. All right, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time. This is the Sex Actually Podcast.
Bye.